Hi everybody, bonjour tout le monde. I'm sorry, but I didn't realize we were going live right away. So, j'espère que vous pouvez m'entendre mieux aujourd'hui. J'ai un microphone, donc on va voir si vous pouvez me donner the thumbs up. So let me know, guys, if you can hear me better because I've got a microphone on. So let me know. Just let me know. Now, I really wanted to show you, I had a little container of die cuts. So this is a washi tape from Altenew, and it's really great for just putting like little nuances on your page. So I'm kind of loving that right now. I think it's a lot of fun. I might even put little pieces on our little pieces we're going to do later. Before I actually, itchy nose, isn't that typical? Je vais le faire ça. Donc, c'est un washi tape. Il reste plus en magasin, je sais, mais je vais les recommander parce que j'ai trouvé génial pour les projets. So, because I found it really cool for these projects, I am going to reorder it probably tonight. Donc, si vous voulez ça, tu vas me dire. Mais aussi le découpe, the die from Marlene, Art by Marlene, her die does this as well, and then you could cut it out of all your jelly printed paper, etc. Whereas this, when it's gone, mais il y en a beaucoup. So, I'm just going to put a few little pieces. Look how cool that makes it. Puis après ça, on va mettre la teinture dessus, mais pour le moment. So you see, it's really kind of a great little washi tape for that, for just giving you like little spots and spaces. All right, guys, yesterday I did a little spatter on here, and I put on some of these little pieces. Je vais couvrir le petit arbre de Noël. I'm going to cover that because it's just been sticking out like a sore thumb. So I am trying to decide what I'm going to cover it with. I might use some of that beautiful paper we made and just cover it with this. Okay? So, let's get my trusty gel medium. Okay. Je vais mettre juste un petit peu là, tout de suite sur mon page parce que je mets juste en une place. Ma bouteille est presque vide. Je vais prendre une qui n'est pas vide. Voilà. Chaque fois que je suis un cours avec Dina, every time I take a class with Dina, we end up with one of these, and it's perfect because that way I'm never without. Voilà. Donc, j'ai mis un petit peu là. Je vais prendre mon pinceau que j'ai oublié dans l'eau l'autre journée. Where did I do? I just cleaned it. OK. Je vais pas prendre la même pinceau. Je vais prendre un nouveau. Donc, voilà. J'ai mis mon peinture. Maintenant, je vais le mettre mon petit morceau de papier. Et je pense que mon pinceau est trop molle. It's too wet, so it's just moving around the gel medium without letting it stick. Okay, donc, what are we going to do now to this page? Well, I thought of my marking stamps. I pulled out, since we were doing a page, even though the background is not Seth, but we're going to be using the rest of his products. So I pulled out some of Seth's stamps. I don't even know if these are in stock, guys. I know I should check that first. But they're just a lot of fun to do marking with, just like all the others. Je vais vous montrer assez d'étampes qu'on aime pour faire les marques. I know I also had my Jofi one. Nope, that's a Tim one. J'ai rapporté quelques affaires que je l'avais chez nous so that we could play here. There it is. So this one too. You know I love these pieces here. So I'm going to play. We're going to put just a little bit of that on here as soon as this dries. And I am going to dry it. So today has been a crazy day, guys. Everybody showed up, which is awesome. So we get to see lots of people. So it was a lot of fun to see everybody, but didn't give me much time to think about this. So having rewatched one of Seth's videos the other day, I got inspired again. So we are going to just talk a little bit about his products in a minute. I was thinking of doing just a whitewash over this. So how would you do a whitewash? Comment est-ce qu'on fait ça? Tu prends soit une peinture blanche, un gesso blanc, quelque chose comme ça. Where was my brush? I just want to get the glue out of it. Okay. Donc, je vais le mettre un peu de gesso blanc ici. OK? Peut-être un petit peu plus. Et je vais prendre, je vais le couvrir parce qu'on ne veut pas que ça sèche. So I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to take my distress sprayer and I'm just going to add a bunch of water. Okay? Because I want to put it over, but I don't want to cover it in white. And we know that gesso is opaque. So I've got this big junky kind of brush. So you see, I've already made it thinner, and I probably need it thinner than that. Donc, je vais mettre plus d'eau, et on va le faire just a whitewash over it. You see, already I find that too thick. So I'm going to go over it with some water too. But you see how it just makes it all tie in together? So now everything is covered, and I am going to clean my brush, and then I'm going to do it again, so I'll thin out the white. Where's my rag? I just put a rag here. Funny how I cover everything that I need. Okay, so quickly go back over this, because I don't want it so dark. We're going to be putting a lot of other things on here. Okay. So that just kind of makes it all in the same place. On peut voir notre papier du riz. Si j'aime mieux, je peux encore faire un peu d'eau pour enlever. Et je vais le faire comme ça dans certains endroits que je trouve qu'on veut voir le mauve. OK? Donc, encore, il faut que je sèche ça vite et après ça, on va attendre juste quelques minutes et on va parler des produits. So today it's Jay helping me out with the camera. So are you guys finding you hear me better even though I'm wearing the mask? Can you hear me through the microphone? Good. That's a little too much water, so let's take some of that off. So you see, this is the way you can soften something. Sometimes your paint is not the right color, it's just too much punch. So just do a whitewash over the top and you're almost not starting new, but you're kind of making everything look similar. You can still see my splatter, you can still see all the different papers. All right, so again, we're probably going to end with the ice. So I think that we're going to do our little stamping. I think I'm going to do before we put any of the products on. So it's still, it's pretty dry.
What's the store hours for today and tomorrow?
Today I'm here till 8. Tomorrow from about 10:30 to 5. Please call if you want to come, just so that I know and I have an idea of how many people are coming, because we don't let more than 6 in the store. Donc, si vraiment vous voulez venir, il n'y a aucun problème. Juste téléphonez ici, juste pour que je sais que vous venez. Et comme ça, je suis préparée et il n'y a pas trop de monde dans le magasin. And we still have appointments for tonight, and we still have appointments for tomorrow, so it's not a problem. All right, so I'm going to stamp this in a couple of spots. I like to stamp off of a page. And notice I didn't put more ink. I just did a little bit of stamping there. And I'm going to stamp here because there's still ink on my stamp. So this will be ready when I decide to do something with it. It'll already have some fun textures and everything on there. All right, so that's one. This one, numéro 50. It's number 50 from Paper Artsy. This one I really like. I find that it gives quite a cool kind of, it looks almost like a lollipop, un soupçon, but it's not. And I like kind of, now notice I always ink my stamps this way. I don't try pressing in because then you put on way too much ink. So I like that it kind of just gives us that line. So it kind of leads in somewhere. I'm going to do it this way. And then, I don't like to put things smack in the middle where it's going to look like it's hanging. So we're going to do it up here. Okay. So that could be a lot of fun. You could go and kind of, yeah, let's see. Let's see what that looks like, guys. Let's just add another one. I could do it here. I could do it there. Let's go like that. And I'm going to do one over here. Okay, so again, no rhyme or reason to this, just having some fun. Okay, this is number, if you like it, it's number 52. I do have a Paper Artsy order going in, so if there's anything you're waiting for, let me know, because then they're going to be closed for a little while. All right, so we have a little bit of the black ink. I still want a bit more over here. I think I'm going to go with this grid, number 51. I'm going to take just a little bit, and I'm also not even going to use the acrylic block except to put the ink on. And I think I'm just going to put little nuances around. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of like that, and I need something kind of in the middle, but we don't want to just leave it hanging there. So I'm going to kind of make it join. So now I'm feeling the page. What about you guys? Tu l'aimes-tu? OK. Donc maintenant, on a fait toutes sortes de choses avec les étampes. Après ça, on peut faire quelque chose avec un pochoir. Et peut-être une de Seth's sprays. Now this would be more Seth than these flowers. So, eux autres sont des sprays. Il n'y a pas de mica dedans. OK? Il fait, je pense, dans 18 couleurs. Sont vraiment beaux et ils sont à base d'ail. Donc, ça dit oui, ils bougent avec de l'eau. La seule différence, moi, j'ai trouvé avec ces affaires-là, c'est que quand j'ai utilisé à mon congrès, j'ai demandé à Seth, est-ce que tu penses qu'ils sont permanents? Il dit ils sont partiellement permanents. Donc, ce que j'ai fait, j'ai pris un peu de gesso blanc et j'ai mis un mot de gesso sur mon projet et je l'ai checké toute la journée, le jour après, et j'ai vu que mon gesso était encore blanc. Donc, ça dit que c'était assez permanent, que mon gesso, qui était pas sec, et pas à enlever la couleur. Donc, mon gesso n'est pas changé de teinte, ça restait blanc. So, let's just see a couple of these sprays. And you will see that if I spray this on a paper, just a solid paper, you're going to see that it dries instantly. Okay? That is going to be dry before we even get a chance to, well, of course, I spray heavier than Seth, but these sprays will dry very quickly. Okay? So you will see that a lot of the sections, I just put a lot of spray on, but they are going to dry very, very quickly. Seth likes to just kind of just go over like that and just put a little bit. So I'm going to put a few of his colors just so that we can see them. I'm not overly concerned that this is going to be a gorgeous project, my best work of art, but if we put just a little, let's put 4 colors. Je sais que vous voulez savoir les couleurs que j'utilise, et ça, je peux vous dire après. Mais comme j'ai toute cette encre encore sur la pochoire, je vais aller mettre mon pochoir ici et je vais utiliser, can I have the paper towels behind you, please? Je vais utiliser mes essuie-tout pour juste rouler et transférer un peu de l'encre. Okay, so it's not a lot, but you don't want to waste that ink, so you may as well just transfer it somewhere else so you can sort of see the designs there. So now we have a little bit of ink on our project, so we're getting somewhere. Remember, I don't have a plan for what this is going to look like. J'ai même pas un clou qu'est-ce que ça va l'air à la fin. But before we can use another product, we're going to dry that. And I'm going to talk to you about his eye inks. Now, if you're very familiar with Aladdin product, eye ink has been around for quite a while. It used to come in a different kind of a bottle with like a dropper. And it is permanent. So this is definitely 100% permanent. Look at those beautiful colors though. So that is permanent, this one, whereas this starts off, you can blend. Okay, so here you see that the inks, we can blend these while they're wet. But when they're dry, you're not going to be blending too many, okay? And of course, I would typically take a purple. So, and they're true to Seth, so really nice dark colors. I'm going to go with my brayer in here, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of his color. And I'm going to love this, actually. So maybe we can even just do a little brayer of color. Look at that. Okay, and I don't know how that came to me, but I'm liking it. Je l'aime. So, je peux mettre une touche de couleur, puis maintenant je vais faire la même chose sur mon page ici, juste pour avoir le même effet. Et je vais le mettre un peu sur notre tape blanc. Donc oui, c'est vrai, j'ai même pas une idée ce que je fais. Okay. So what Seth likes to show with some of his products is something like this is a permanent pigment. Donc cela est un pigment. Garde, cela a un pinceau. Donc si vous voulez faire quelque chose de délicat, tu peux le faire. Tu peux peinturer les angles ou ce que tu veux. Tu peux le paler avec un peu d'eau aussi. Ou tes doigts, comme moi je fais tout le temps. So you see, now we've got some color. That one's got color, and we're going to put a little bit of color here. Okay, but you could pour this. I'm going to give it a good shake. J'oublie combien de couleurs il vient pour le eye ink. J'en ai pas en stock, mais j'ai une commande que j'attende. Et he sometimes just pours it out onto his project, but I think I'm going to dot it in a couple of spots. It's a nice permanent ink. I'm going to give it a few minutes to dry. But we now have a nice bit of light blue on our page. And I don't have another good color. Ça, c'est deux autres couleurs. Okay, oops, this one's not. That is from a different, and that's very liquid. So this is Seth's orange, and I'm just not sure if I feel orange on this project. Qu'est-ce qu'on pense? Est-ce que tu l'aimes l'orange? Je peux le faire peut-être autour de le bleu. Dup. Je vais ink faire 3. Dup. And we lost the blue there. Et voilà. Donc, juste sur 3 cercles, on a un peu d'orange. All right. So, again, there's no focal point for this. I probably will never get to a focal point. I will probably just do a background. But I wanted to show you his sprays, which I'm going to spray again over here a little. Okay, so the trick of not getting too much of a puddle is trying to move your hand as you spray. Il faut bouger ton main pendant que tu fais le push-push. Il faut pas braser ça, je sais pas pourquoi j'ai brasé. Mais si tu le bouges continuellement, tu vas pas avoir une grosse poule de ça. Puis maintenant, à côté de cette bleue, je veux avoir du vert. Et maintenant, j'ai toutes mes couleurs dessus. J'ai encore des étampes ici. Je vais aller ramasser un petit peu de l'encre et je vais l'étamper encore. Because I love this stamp. I just think it's a lot of fun. So just showing you that you can stamp with these inks. You could really do whatever you want. Look, I just picked up all our orange and blue. So just have a lot of fun. You know, play with them. See what they can do. So again, I'm going to dry this. I like the way this dried. So that's a lot of fun. And then we're going to talk about ice. Now, a lot of you remember that we have these in glitters. Well, these aren't glitters, obviously, because Seth is not a glittery guy. He doesn't mind a bit of a shimmer, but he's definitely not a glittery guy. So, obviously I put too much of the orange here. And it's bubbling. I must be cooking it. Donc, je pense que ça c'est trop chaud pour ça. Je vais juste aller un petit peu avec mon essuie-tout. Oh, it's actually not lifting. Okay, donc ça c'est fait. I'm going to move the book a minute because I want to show you what the ice looks like. Ça, c'est toute la peinture de hier. So, ça vient ici, dans un paquet. Ils ne peuvent pas avoir trop d'air dedans. Donc, comme ça ne sèche pas. En prendre un couteau palette, OK? Puis, tu vas le peser et mettre un peu sur ton couteau. OK? So, you've got it. Now, the other good thing to remember is to always tap it so some of that goes back down, okay? So this is what Seth's glaze is. So you see the color? You can go thick, you can go thin. Tu peux faire épais ou tu peux avoir juste une couche très mince. Vous pouvez le texturer juste comme ça avec un couteau. Et quand tu le mets sur ton projet, tu vas le voir que la plus mince que tu le fais, la couleur va être pâle. So the less you put on, the paler it's going to look. So just not to waste this, I'm going to wipe it off on there. This is going to be our scrap page. And then I wanted to show you one of his browns, because a lot of people don't like brown. But it doesn't have to be brown. Okay, watch this. If you put a thin layer, tu vas avoir la teinte. Donc, ça a l'air plus orange, jaune que brun. Et si je mets sur mon page aussi, tu vas le voir, si on met quelque chose mince, c'est vraiment pas un brun. So that is what the ice do. Et ils vont sécher un peu glacés parce que ça va l'air comme tu as scellé toute ton page avec ces couleurs-là. And so I'm thinking, what color should we put on here because we have so much color. So we're going to need to kind of tidy that up a bit. So I am going to cover these. Tu veux les couvrir tout de suite parce que tu veux pas que ça sèche même dans le bout. You can also pick up your paste and you can put some of it back if you didn't mix them. Donc, si tu n'as pas mélangé. So what are you guys feeling for my little piece here? What color do you think? J'ai le bleu, j'ai le mauve, ça a l'air noir, mais c'est vraiment un brun foncé. Et ça, c'est vraiment comme une couleur de Seth. Et tout le monde qui connaît Seth va dire c'est correct. So you see how it's picking up just some of it? That's going to look really nice. I'll probably have to show you this on Monday. We'll see how it dried. Mais j'aime pas perdre mes choses. So we don't want to lose this, so I'm going to pick up as much as I can, and then I'm going to put my book over it. I just don't want to stain the whole side of my book. Okay. Voila. You know what? We haven't talked about these little projects. So while that's drying, let us, where's my other one? Let us put a little something on here. Ah, I lost my other piece. Here is where I'm going to put a layer of the brown glaze. Okay, guys? So I'm going to go with the brown we were just looking at. Because of all the copper that I put yesterday of the wax, I think the brown might look really nice on here. If ever you're afraid this won't stick because your project is wet, mets un peu de colle. Donc moi, je peux même retourner avec le colle de notre gel medium. Je peux juste prendre un petit bout. Donc pas beaucoup. Et je vais juste mettre par-dessus pour sceller les côtés. The edges. So I'm just kind of rubbing that on so that the edges will hold. Okay? So we'll give that a second and we'll go to this one. So here goes with a little bit of the brown glaze. We're going to take some on our knife and we're going to put it over. Whoops, I should have cleaned that first. Okay, so right away, we've got a vintage looking piece. Donc, ça a l'air beaucoup plus vintage. Et je peux continuer à diluer ou je peux laisser des côtés plus rough comme ça. Je vais le mettre un peu en haut ici. Et maintenant, ça va sécher avec les couches plus épais ici, puis plus minces là. And just look how nice that is. And we're going to stamp on it afterwards if it dries in time. But maintenant, ça a l'air plus âgé, plus vintage. Donc, la brun, et Tim va toujours dire ça aussi, le brun est une couleur qui est nécessaire dans nos couleurs. Et je sais qu'il y en a du monde qui déteste le brun. Mais dans les projets plus vintage, c'est une bonne couleur. Mais je pense pour ceux-là, comme on a commencé avec des fleurs, puis on voit presque pas nos lilas et toutes les fleurs de notre papier de riz. Oh, I'm really liking that, guys. What do you think? I think it just needs a little spatter. And maybe a little bit of stamping or a sentiment on there, and I'm just going to leave that like that. And I have an ATC card. So that one I'm really leaving like that. So on this one, let's put a different color. What's the other color I opened? I opened the blue. I'm afraid the blue is going to be too blue. Let's see. It might be too blue. Guys, if you think it's too blue, say don't do it. I need your help here. It might not be terrible. Let's dilute it a bit. Let's just put a thin coat and see what we get. Oh, I'm not sure I love that. Let's see. Very thin coat. Je l'aime plus épais ici sur nos textures. What are people saying? I need to know.
It's too late if they say don't. You've done it already.
Oh. People are saying don't now? That's okay.
May said to use black.
Yes, I don't have black May. I sold out of it. The other one is a dark brown, but it's not a black. So if we leave part of her face covered, it's going to look weird. So we have to cover the whole thing like we intended to do it. Okay, so now, I wish I had some metal gears to put on there. That would look beautiful. So now I'm going to dilute the color again, and now we're just going to do a total cover of it because I had already done it. I forgot there's a lag. J'ai oublié qu'il y a un lag. Donc, tu peux pas répondre tout de suite. Et moi, j'ai déjà fait ça parce que je rush trop. But let's see what happens if we put water on there. Let's see. On va mettre un peu d'eau, puis voir si ça change. Si on peut diluer un peu la couleur. Je vais prendre un petit guinea. Ah, look at that. We can pale it by just putting a little water. Okay, now she looks like she has a blue eye. Oh, now I'm liking it. Okay. OK, ça c'est mieux. Donc oui, vous pouvez diluer pendant que c'est encore mouillé. While it's still wet, you can definitely play around with it. So now I don't mind the blue too much because it's as pale as I wanted it. Let's go back to our wipe-off page. And, do you think we need a bit of brown? I'm going to wait till you answer. Est-ce que tu penses qu'il faut mettre un peu de brun, tout le monde? Je vais le mettre à côté, puis on va voir. Just a touch. Qu'est-ce qu'on pense? What are they thinking? A little brown? Yes or no? Anyone? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes, brown? Okay, let's put some up here. Let's put some down here. C'est comme un brun miel. I think it's like a honey beige. This is not the one he has that's called Whiskey Frost. So voilà le problème. Les noms que Seth a donnés à ses produits sont complètement différents pour nous autres parce que nous autres, on a tous les noms en français. So when he says Whiskey Frost, I don't have a color called Whiskey Frost. I think it was beige miel. Okay, guys, I'm liking that. And I'm not liking the white on here, so I am thinking it needs something. What about a bit of spray? I'm finding that's too bright. That's a bit better. It was too white, eh, guys? It was way too white. We needed that. And the top one's going to be a bit green. There we go. Donc ça, maintenant, there we go. Okay, so I'm liking that. I'm going to let it dry, and then we're just going to do a little bit of stamping on there, okay? And I'm probably going to stamp over these, or I'm going to take these off and see what it looks like underneath. Oh, okay. I'm taking them off, guys, parce que j'aime la look qui est faite en dessous. Ta-da! So now I have a little bit of texture and a little bit of texture, and I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, so our yellow-faced alien woman. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cover that, and we're going to go back to our book and see if we can salvage this. Because you guys know I'm really not the artist here. If Denise was here, she'd have like how I could salvage this. Maybe Francine would have an idea. Okay, tout le monde. Now, I'm going to go for it. I'm doing the purple. Okay, I'm doing the purple. I don't care. There's a lot of purple here. I'm going for purple. It's okay. Jay's just going, you're opening another one? But you guys want to see what color the purple is, don't you? I do. So we're going purple. We're going purple. Here we go. We're going purple. I'm liking the going purple. I just wish that my knife wasn't so messed up. So I'm liking this purple. I'm going to be brave and put some out. Je l'aime beaucoup cette mauve. Je trouve c'est une très belle couleur. And it'll make everything uniform again. Donc ça va revenir comme une projet encore, j'espère. So guys, remember, I don't know what I'm doing. You're listening to me, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun. But my knife is very gritty. Donc, ça fait pas des beaux lignes. But do you see how here, ça c'est où j'ai déchiré les papiers, que ça devient plus foncé. So that's getting a lot darker where I tore the paper. Here we're getting a little bit of resist from the ice ink, the one that was permanent. And somehow my purple is ending up very blue. So I don't know if I've picked up some ink. I'm going to put that over there. All right, but it is no longer purple over here. We've now got somewhat of a navy blue. Donc, je pense qu'un produit était pas complètement sec. So, again, like I said, you can go and you could do some scribble in there so that you'll have some texture. I can do some scribble here. I can do some scribble there. So really just play with it. I need a little bit more over here, and then I'm going to call that done, and we're going to try and find something to put on top. Okay? Now I do have another rice paper I thought maybe I would put on. It's just so not a Seth kind of thing because it's a bird. But I'm thinking that we're going to do that because I'm finding this. I love that it looks, ça a l'air mauve, bleu, puis on a une touche de vert ici. Et ça, c'est tout. Tu me vois, je mets seulement le mauve, mais je pense que c'est fait une... La couleur mauve l'air différent sur bleu que vert que brun. Okay, so now I've got what I call a uniform background. On a le fond. I'm really liking that now, believe it or not. Ça a l'air comme un mess, mais je l'aime beaucoup. J'aime toutes les nuances que le ice fait sur chaque morceau de notre projet. Donc, c'est différent sur les tapes, c'est différent sur les morceaux déchirés. So I'm really liking how the ice has picked up all different parts of this. Now, I could really go and just, I'm going to leave that like that. We're going to let it dry, okay? I can show you the other, I really like that, guys. I don't usually like my art. Donc, il y a quelque chose que j'aime beaucoup. I think Seth would be very proud of me. Il y a just quelque chose que j'aime. Should we put a focal point? J'ai pensé de mettre un de les oiseaux et peut-être faire quelque chose par-dessus. But I don't know if that's going to mix, so let's take a peek. While that's drying, I'm going to clean this up the way I showed you. I'm just going to put some water around. I need a bigger workspace, guys. Voilà. Donc, je vais prendre un peu d'eau juste autour de mon petit oiseau et on va voir à quoi ça a l'air. Si c'est pas beau, je l'enlève. So now I can go a little bit around my bird here, and then we're going to see what he could look like on there. Because if it's not beau, we're just going to take it off. Et peut-être on va étamper quelque chose plus Seth-like. J'en ai pas une set d'étampes de Seth ici ouvert de Paper Artsy où je vais l'utiliser ça. OK? Et en haut ici, notre petit oiseau. Donc, le téléphone, il sonne pas. Donc, vous ne faites pas des rendez-vous pour ce soir ou vous attendez que notre démo est finie. Because really, I could just keep playing and playing. So, on va voir. Mais on voit que le ice, so here's our first project. You see how it's drying, very glossy, mais où j'ai mis une couche très mince et plus mat. Donc, ça dépend comme tu le laisses. mais tu peux faire la texture dans la pâte. Et même pas une pâte, mais je sais pas qu'est-ce qu'il appelle ça. Ça dit translucent gel glaze finish. OK. Mais moi, je trouve là. Et ici, c'est beaucoup plus gloss. So can you see that that's glossy? So I'm liking that. I really, really do. So let's see if our bird could look good on here or if he's really going to look weird. I think he's going to look weird. What do you guys think? Should we glue him down or should we leave him be? I can put a couple of birdhouses, but it's so not Seth. I need somebody's opinion. Jay will let me know when somebody says something. What are people saying? What do you think of the bird, guys? He kind of blends in there. Qu'est-ce que tu penses? J'ai besoin d'une suggestion. Est-ce qu'on aime ça?
Ariel says no. Marie says love it.
So I guess we each have our own opinion.
May wants you to glue him down.
Well, guys.
Michelle says on the bottom of the page in the left.
Bottom of the page in the left.
Deandra says she wants an octopus.
You want an octopus?
Deanne says he gets lost.
Okay, guys. So
Likes it. Linda says he blends in.
what if I could put a little bit of white gesso down there, and then if we put him on there, he would pop out. What do you think? Should we try it? Let me see what happens if I do that. Or maybe I'll just put a little white gesso on him. No.
Céline says he should be on the other page, on top.
Yeah, I did think of that. Merci, Céline. J'ai pensé à ça aussi. So I'm afraid, because I really love this. Because the blue one would blend. Celui-là est trop bleu. Moi, je trouve ça blende. Le papillon peut être beau, mais peut-être on va mettre le papillon aussi.
Linda says stick the pink birdhouse there.
Stick the pink birdhouse. Yeah, but the pink birdhouse is small, so he would have to, we could put the birdhouses on the bottom. You know what, guys? We're just going to have, this is going to have to be a to be continued because we all can't agree. So I'm afraid to put the gesso. Let's see what it would look like. I'll do it here. Let's see what it would look like if I put a little bit of white gesso. On met le gesso. Just là. And then we would put him on top. Would that make him stand out more? I think it would. Yeah. Je pense qu'on peut le voir beaucoup plus si on met le gesso en dessous. What do you guys think? And of course the gesso right now is turning all sorts of colors because my sprays aren't dry. And my bird now is all sorts of colors because of that. So, yeah, I think I like him. I know he blends too much, but we're just going to put him, guys. I'm going to put some gesso on the back of him. I'm going to put a little bit of gesso and see what happens. And if we don't like it, I'll pull it up right away and I'll sacrifice the bird. Voilà. Si je le mets, juste comme ça. What do we think? Too many colors underneath him? Qu'est-ce qu'en pense tout le monde? Parce que j'ai seulement comme 5 secondes de l'enlever. I know he's crooked. What do we think? Are we leaving him or are we taking him off? No answer?
Leander says you should outline it to pop it.
Yes, but that I can't do until it's completely dry. All right, guys, I'm taking him off. I know. I took him off. I have other ideas. I'm going to look for a nice big silhouette stamp or something to put in there. But I did want to try one last thing on the glazes, but they're still kind of wet. Je vais vous montrer un pochoir sur les glazes. But I can't put a spider web there. You see, guys, I try to rush to do too much in one video, and it doesn't give it enough time to dry, so I can't do what I want to show you. But yeah, my poor bird, eh?
Connie still wants it on the other page.
I know, but he's not. This isn't a page. It's not a page. I think he's going to have to just kind of sit down here. Nope, he doesn't go on here, guys. My poor little boy here, he's going to have to go somewhere else. He really does. Maybe he can go on to our page we did the other day. Remember our page? I can put him across the middle so that we don't waste him. And then I can put some of his houses on here, bring out a little bit more color. So we'll go back and see him later, but we're not going to waste him. All right, guys, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it like this until I have a feel for what I want to put on there. Donc, j'espère que vous connaissez un petit peu. Si vous avez des questions, demandez maintenant. Si vous avez des questions au sujet des pigments, donc ça c'est les pigments, ils vont être permanents, sont plus liquides, ok? Mais aussi, Seth a fait, moi j'ai vu une vidéo avec Seth où il a gratté dans son page, puis il a mis le pigment par-dessus et c'est resté permanent, ok? I like our little octopus guy. He needs a little something. You know what he needs? He needs a stamp. Where's our stamp, guys? Let's just stamp him up and he'll be done. Okay? Or, I know. Don't do it, Nat. Don't do it. But I think I'm just going to give him a little kind of, I'm just going to give him like some sort of randomness around him. Okay. It's weird. I know, guys. I'm going for it, but it's weird. I'm going to stamp the stamp over the stencil. On va voir. Stamp the stamp over the stencil so that we only get a little bit. Oh, we really only get a little bit. Let's do it there so that we got a little. And then I am going to do this side over here. Oh, I like that. Okay, so we're going to let that dry up. I'm actually going to wipe a little bit off with my rag just over his face. So also, this is a permanent ink. C'est un encre permanent, mais comme il est sur la glace qui est un peu glacée, ça me donne un petit peu de temps de changer d'idée. So I can't get it all off, but I definitely was able to blend it in. And I think I'm going to leave him like that. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink his edges. Donc, je vais le faire plus noir sur les côtés. And then my ATC card is going to be done. Who wants my ATC card? I might have to put it in somebody's bag or package one day. But I'm not signing it. Okay, guys. Donc, quand tu trouves que ça vous donne pas le désir, I have to start again. If you find that your eye is not taking you to the center, just put the black around because it makes you stop. It's almost like it's a red light, and it makes you turn back and go towards the other red light. So I know that won't translate, I'm sorry, mais ça vous donne le goût de regarder au centre, okay? So he is done. I am leaving him like that. Okay, so we've got our ATC card done. We've got our background done. Now let's see if we can help her because she has become an alien woman. So we are going to try and clean her up just a tiny bit again. Okay, so I'm going to try and put water on her and tell her how sorry. Je vais dire je m'excuse que j'ai mis trop de jaune sur ton visage et vert et tout ça. And again, I could really put a little gesso over her and it would help give her back her complexion. But again, I think this needs some stamping or some foil, but I don't have my foil around, so I am going to take, oh, there we go. Look at that. My white gesso that's on my brush is working perfectly to really lighten this up a bit. Oh, you see? So all is not lost. All is not lost. And now just a little spatter for our friend. Last technique, I promise, puis après ça, on est fini. So, encore, quand vous voulez faire une splatter, tu vas prendre ton gesso, ton peinture blanc et tu vas le faire vraiment liquide. OK? Pour faire une spatter, on veut que ça soit très, très, très liquide. Et je vais prendre un pinceau plus petit. Je molle un petit peu. And here goes. Everything looks better with spatter. Everything, everything. Okay? So we have spattered her. And it's changing color, our gesso. I should have waited till tomorrow. Mais quand vous voulez faire quelque chose comme ça et tu veux que ça reste blanc, il faut laisser ton projet sèche complètement. Okay? So if you really want to see the white spatter, let your project dry completely. Because we're kind of doing step by step, I wanted to show you that. But now I'm liking her a lot more. Now she could potentially go on here. But there we go. We've played with a bunch of different colors. My page here is actually becoming a favorite of mine, which I don't say often, but I think I've stuck 2 pages together. So this one I'm really liking. I'm going to find the perfect thing to put on there, and when I do, I will definitely share it with you guys. Donc, merci tout le monde. On continue à recevoir des nouveautés. Noël, des choses de Noël vont commencer d'arriver dans 1 ou 2 semaines. Donc, on vous attend toutes en magasin. Et si tu ne peux pas être avec nous en magasin, venir nous voir sur nos vidéos. So, thanks everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. We're going to be back with you on Monday. And maybe some new products, maybe a Mystery Monday sale. Who knows? We have to surprise you. I got to keep you guessing. Love you all. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Bonne fin de semaine. Bon week-end. Bye.